Okay.
Well, hello. Welcome to Drawing with Fire. I'm Valarie, your neighborhood pyrography artist.
And hubcap.
And my hubby, Jason. And today we are burning on Birch. This is a bison that I took photos of. And hopefully everything looks good, sounds good. I'll zoom in as we get started. Just wanted to show you the line work. Let's see if it comes up for you. Hi, Eve. Hi. Hi, Paul. Hi, Andrew and Trish. So glad you guys joined us. Got a bit of a delay going on.
12 seconds.
That's okay. We can live with that. I think I'm going to start with the eye because that is my focal point. And surprisingly enough, with as big as a bison is, the eyes are very small. So we are going to start with, because of the size, we're going to start with the Coalwood large ball tip.
Hey, Paul.
And I will zoom it in. Maybe I can get to it. Let's see here. Hopefully I don't have to adjust anything. How's that look? Clear? Hi, Andrew. All right, heating up my tip. Let's see, I know the eyes are in place. So I'm going to go pretty dark with this. Go a little darker on 4. And this is a piece of scrap birch wood. And we're going to get started. I forgot to set up to pop up the reference photo for you guys. I forgot to do that. I have a link down in the description on where I get my birch panels. I'm going to keep my line drawing nearby so I can tell what my lines are. Now today I am burning on, I sanded it to 600 grit to give it a try. And it's very smooth. Oops, sorry about that.
Paul says, careful, Valarie. I nearly banged heads with a bison. Paul.
Let's see here. How's that going? Do you guys want me to zoom in closer? Should have gone with a smaller tip. Yes, I do have a smaller tip set up. We are switching over to the Burnmaster. These eyes are really small. And this is the smallest Burnmaster ball tip. And this one, I'll set it to 3 and let's see how we do.
Eve says, could be great to be a bit more zoomed in.
Okay. Let's see if I can make sure I keep it in the screen. Don't want to lose it or have to move the board. How's that? Looks like this one needs to be at 4 also. It actually been a while since I had sanded a board last night. it's tedious, but at the same time, relaxing. Is it clear enough? It's a bit blurry. Yeah, I can adjust.
Can you?
Yeah, right here. Not with that though. I can do it. I can't see yet. There we go. I'm trying. There we go.
That's good.
Yeah, that works. It's going to take a second for it to get to you guys. There we go. Alrighty. There. Okay. Now this bison has a lot of different textures in it. We have some smooth. We have clumps. A lot of mats. They are definitely a matty animal.
Paul says focus and zoom is good.
Oh, good. I don't want to go too dark just yet. I don't have all my lines down. Let's see here. Where am I at? Okay. Because there was so much to transfer. And even in my pattern, I didn't put everything. A little later. I'm still trying to go for the not outlining.
Dorothy Smith says hello.
Hi, Dorothy. And I'm going to switch pins once again. This one I have not shown you guys. This is a razor tip. Come on. Gotta find a better way to do this. This is a razor tip shader. They also call it the bigger one, a transfer. I do like them for nice smooth. I don't use it to transfer my patterns. With what is it? Inkjet? No, laser, I think. Let's see what size are we on. On this side, it does take a higher heat, so I'm going to put it up to a 5.
Eric Draw says, hi, Valarie.
Hi, Eric.
And Eve has a question.
Yes, please.
How do you transfer the line work to the wood?
For this one, it was graphite paper under my line art. And it was very quickly done. Why are you not heating up? See, this tip takes a lot more heat. Let me see here. I'm bumped to about a 7. And last week, I missed one of Dorothy's questions. And I know she has a razor tip. And she wanted to know if it was normal for the pins to get hot. And it is. Especially since it takes more heat to heat up tips like this. And the higher your heat, the hotter your pin is going to get. Right now, my board is angled about 80 degrees. Yeah. And that makes it so the heat rises up from my tip versus back towards my hand. And that keeps it a little cooler. This one's... See, I'm not liking how much I have to dial up the razor tip. For this burn on the other machines, you're looking at a 3 to 4. No, not even that. That was on 4. It just takes so much more to heat up one of the razor tips, which is odd considering they are made with a thinner gauge wire than the rest of them. I think I'm just going to go with that.
Eve says, what a smooth, even burn, though.
It does. It does burn well once you can get your setting to where you want it.
Eric Draws asked, how long does it take you to finish a piece?
This one being a 12 by 16, and would you say that's 75% of the board?
Sure.
It's going down like this. I think this one will take about 30 hours. I'm actually going to have to work quicker on this one because I will be entering it for this year's It's Elemental through the Coconino Center for the Arts.
Which is an art show.
Which is an art show. And so I have to work quicker. And I figured I had to get this one going. Might as well share it with you. Now I'm definitely going to be erasing here in a minute as much as I can to get the pencil out so I don't burn it in. Right now my pen is not hot for me. In fact, I'm not feeling any heat from the pen. And this is on a, what are we on? An 8 for this tip. And they do have a bigger version of it. It does do well. I do like the shape and how smooth it is. It's just frustrating that it takes so much to get it to heat up. I'm trying to kind of smooth out the burn.
Doesn't even sound like it's on.
It's on. No, it's the nibs burner that makes all that noise. I still need to send it in. And I could use the their new spoon shader.
You know, something you said a little bit ago that I think is important. I don't know if you've ever addressed, but you're burning. You said you're burning about 80 degrees. You're almost vertical, and you can't really tell that from the video because it looks, you know, if you're drawing, you know, it'd be horizontal.
Yeah.
Oh, Dorothy Smith asks, can you move the picture down a little bit? Some of where you're working is off the screen.
Yeah, I can try. Okay, I'm going to make you dizzy for a minute. Hopefully it's not too bad.
And Paul says that pen looks like a smoothing iron for Barbie's clothes.
A bit. Oh, shoot, I can't see the screen. All right. That should be good. There we go, hopefully. Hopefully I didn't make you too dizzy. Okay, all better? I left this tip on, but in a soldering iron holder because it takes so long to heat it up. I won't have to do that again. But Paul's right, it does remind me an iron for Barbie's clothes. Let's see here. All the hair is going this way, and I will be trying the Colwood custom tip I had made just right now. Ooh, almost got myself. All of the bison will be burned in, just at different heat settings.
Dorothy says, better thanks. Paul says, that looks good.
Oh, good. Let's see here. He actually has some white right here. I think we'll skip that for now. This is much darker. We got eyelids. Yep, this one's going to take me a little while. Let's see here. He's got some shading here.
Relatively speaking, for me, that means forever.
Forever?
Take ever.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes it feels that way. Get some of these pencil lines out.
Paul says, I wish I had one for my Barbie. Oops, didn't mean to let one slip. It's okay, Paul. It's
now
all
we
right.
know.
You know what? It's all right to have Barbies. That's manly. You know what? You're a man when you can admit you have Barbies.
And so it begins.
Right?
Sure. We won't tell anybody about you playing with G.I. Joes.
G.I. Joes are awesome.
They're dolls.
They're not. They're action figures.
They are so dolls. And actually, no, he doesn't have any. I guess I'm teasing. Oh, where to go? There's so much hair.
Not that you know of, anyway.
Oh, you're bad.
Right on, Paul. Word up.
Let's try to get some of the flow of the hair in. I will go back and put detail of the hair in. Let's just get it laid down. I am trying to follow the direction of the fur.
Andrew Smith says, I could watch someone burn all day. It sounds really sadistic, but I hope you know what I mean.
Yay, somebody like me.
I know what you mean. And I have to follow Valarie around when we go to the animal park and make sure people know when she says things like that exactly what she means.
But I'm not really burning animals.
Yeah, otherwise I don't think we would be allowed in the animal park.
I know. I took this photo last week.
Mm-hmm.
We went on the awesome bus tour at Bearizona. We hadn't done that before. And that allowed us to get up close and personal to some of the animals. I'm trying to keep my hand from blocking.
Eric Draws asks, how much do the tools cost? How much do these go for? Do they sell a lot?
For what the burners I have, which all of my burners are the top end for Coalwood, Burnmaster, Nibs Burner, and Razor Tip. They run for the sets. You're looking between $200 and $300 a piece, but that includes tips and pins and wires and the whole setup. So basically, you buy the kit, setup, and you've got everything to get going. They do have smaller machines, and you could get, off the top of my head, Coalwood's next step up, or anywhere from 100 to 300, depending on what you're getting. All right, this is the custom tip. We're going to give it a try. I do need to let Coalwood know how I like it. The tip, the pin. Let's see here. I think I want to go a little hotter. Just past 4. No, we're going to go back to 4. I haven't used this one yet. And it can be a little nerve-wracking using a new pen tip on a piece that you really got to get done right. Here I'm lifting in between, and that gives me even burn, or I can go back and forth quickly to get a pattern. Don't want to do too much though. Let's see, go this way. It's hard when I'm burning on wood not being able to turn the board. So I'm having to kind of rock the tip a little bit to get a little bit different direction. And then I'll go back over it with the other. Just can't tell if these are short or longer. They're longer. It's still a little off from what I'm used to. but I can cover it. Still feels a little thicker than the other tip. It'll be okay. I'm sure once I start polishing it, I'll wear it down a little bit. Let's see here. This is a lighter area. And this goes really dark into the horn, and I don't think you can see it. So we'll go down here. We've got a dark spot here. Right now, I'm just trying to get in my landmarks. And then I'll go back and because right here is dark, but then this part isn't. There's just so much detail to a bison. Let me see, the hair goes down here. And the biggest thing is following the direction of the hair.
Eric Draws asks, what mediums do you practice?
Besides this, watercolor, pastel, colored pencil. What else do I got? Those would be the main ones.
Andrew Smith says, the pyrography setups sound expensive, but worth every penny, in his opinion.
Yes. And you only have to buy it once, really. You can, get different tips if you choose to. You don't have to. My nibs burner, granted, this is the second one, because remember she switched it out. But I've been using nibs burner since 2006. And the other ones I've had anywhere from March of this year to January, February of 2016. But I won't have to get another burner for a very, very long time, unless they come out with something new.
Yes. Getting back to Eric's question, I know not your regular mediums, but you also you have worked with pastels and graphite.
Graphite.
I think everybody's worked with graphite, though. If they're an artist, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
And crayons.
Oh, I've also done marker. I've got all kinds of stuff. But I'm really trying to focus on adding different media to pyrography. Because sometimes I miss color. And granted, this sepia-ish color is color. Sometimes you want a bright purple. So that's why we are looking at different products that we can add to wood or to use on watercolor paper. Trying to get that ridge. I may be too far down.
Yes, Eric. You definitely crayons. Crayons rock. I was always a poor kid in school and had like the box of crayons that didn't match and they were broken. And then some rich kid had come in with their 64 pack box that was brand new and had the sharpener in it.
Yeah.
And they didn't appreciate it. It's not like I'm still bitter about that or anything.
No. All right. I think we're going to move over to the ear. That's what I can work on without switching the board.
And Andrew Smith is asking if it's possible to use pyrography on suede. My wife wants me to burn her boots.
No. Well, let me fully clarify that. You can burn on leather or suede if and only if it is what they call vegetable tan, veggie tan, or raw. That means they have not used chemicals to prepare the leather. To use your wife's boots will have been, at the very least, even though it's the natural color of leather or suede, they have still been chemically treated. Unfortunately, with that, if you want something like that, you're going to have a leather worker make you custom boots that are from the specific veggie tan leather. And then, yes, you could burn on it all day long. I'm sorry. It's just too dangerous because when you burn on anything, it releases, even if you don't see it, it releases fumes. And if you burn on MDF board or anything glued where the glue's sticking out, anything chemically treated is dangerous.
I have a good example of that.
Okay.
I was trying to repair a pair of leather gloves one time, and this was when I was much younger. And
wow, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
Hey.
I said that out loud.
Anyhow, so I was going to use super glue because it wasn't in a structural part of the glove, and I was like, oh, I'll just glue this on and it'll be fine. But the super glue immediately reacted with a chemical that was in the gloves, and it created this white smoke, and it almost knocked me out.
Oh, goodness.
To this day, I don't know what that was, except for I never tried that again. So I probably have a precautionary tale for pretty much everything.
It sounds like it. Again, why do you not burn?
Me?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
I think that's sarcasm, right? I got that.
Not even at its finest. So, no, Andrew, I would highly suggest you don't. Even with a fan, you're still dealing with some pretty toxic stuff, because if you think about it, they use those chemicals to remove flesh and everything from the leather, and it has to be pretty strong to do so. And they put them in these, I watch a lot of YouTube. They put them in these giant chemical vats and leave them in there for, what is it? It's like something like 24 hours or longer, just to get everything off of the leather.
For some reason, that creeps me out.
It's pretty big. Now, the veggie tan is still a chemical, but it's vegetable based, not, I can't think of what they use for the chemicals.
So you wouldn't get any more toxicity from burning on a vegetable based tan than you would by, say, cooking vegetables in the kitchen.
Well, they do mix it with other stuff, but I guess in theory, I haven't thought about it that way.
Gotcha. Dorothy Smith says, Val, I think you better buy Jason a large box of crayons so you can get over the pain from childhood.
I guess so.
But you know what?
Do you want the big ones, love?
No, you don't need to, because you're always buying me paint.
I get you all the colors.
I have so much paint.
I get you all the colors.
Of all different kinds. She just shows up with paint. She's like, hey, I ordered some stuff. I was like, what's this? I think you should try it. And then she's like, this is the whole set. You should let me swatch it out.
Very true. Very true. Hey, I like swatching. It's meditative.
Paul says, I reckon Jason doesn't burn because I cover myself in fire retardant before we went to Val's studio. How do you know?
It's not bad. Now, Andrew, if you wanted to get some veggie tan leather and make a bag or a purse that matched your wife's boots, I think that would be a good place to start. Even though you're not burning on her boots, she's still getting some of your artwork. Let's see here. Oh, and Andrew, I also contacted Colwood yesterday about your question of using the stainless steel wire to make tips. And they said the reason that they don't use stainless steel is because in general, it doesn't conduct heat as consistently. And it's harder to control drops in the heat.
Science.
Yeah. But there is no, but it's not unsafe to do so. And if you are having a positive, everything's working out for you, then go for it.
I had a thought.
Ouch. Oops, I said that out again.
Yeah, I just keep burning over there, you. You might not be able to burn on your on the suede, but if you used like a sepia or a brown acrylic, you could airbrush on there.
Yeah.
And that would be permanent as well.
So does that mean you're going to start an airbrush channel?
You've been pressuring me on this, but I don't. You're the star around here. I just stay off screen and read comments.
You're my star.
Watch chat.
You're my star. You're my bright star. You're my bling.
Stop that.
We discussed that. Let's see.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm hubcap.
Yes.
Just bling.
You're eye candy. You're my eye candy.
Eric Draws, changing the subject, says, "How can you shade with that?"
I'm turning it on the side and using the very tip of it. It's hard to see the shape of the tips. But right here at the end, it's really no different than, say, the wire tip that people write with. And so I can turn it sideways and quickly shade with it. I can also run this tip sideways this way, and it will skim over the top where the wood's raised.
Andrew Smith says you're making it look too easy.
Once you get into a groove, it's actually really hard for me to do lives because I don't want to stop talking and explaining what I'm doing. But once I start burning, I tend to do that. Just stop talking.
That's actually why I'm here.
You're here because I want you here.
Because if not, you'll go into the zone and it'll be an hour of just silent burning. Because I'll come into the studio and she'll be just in here and I'll be like, "Hey, you want dinner?" "Oh no, I'm not hungry." "Well, it is like 11 at night." "Oh, okay." Eric Draws asked, "Have you burned your husband with that before?" I'm assuming he means a picture.
A picture, yes. A picture of him, yes, I have.
And not burn me accidentally or intentionally.
No.
No, she would never do that. Unless I was really, really awful, I guess.
No, even then I wouldn't.
Then I wouldn't come in here because I know better.
I have a picture on Instagram of like this really hot soldier sitting there. Yeah.
Who is he?
It's you. You know it. You took the picture.
Oh, Eric says no. Literally burn him.
Oh, no, I haven't burned anybody. No. I would feel so bad. Again, I'm just trying to lay down the main parts and get the right shapes because the hair just goes everywhere. And I'll go back and shade. But with the way I burn, when you run your finger across the wood, it feels like there's grooves there. And I do that so that it feels more realistic that there's hair there. Now, I will not get this exactly like the photo. There's just no way of doing that. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I have a thought, and this is a little off topic, but, well, not really. But since there is so much texture in your work, I wonder if somebody who is visually impaired would be able to actually get a sense, of what's there.
I think if I burned a little deeper and hotter, and then only used a couple of coats of spray sealant, they could feel it better. Because when I do the brush on polyurethane, it fills in the grooves a bit more. I mean, they're still there, and you can feel them, but not as obvious. But if I did a spray sealant, then I think so. And I've thought about that too. Maybe I should try. Because as long as the work is sealed, I don't have to worry about anybody's oil from their hands interfering with the wood or anything. Let's see here. He has a shadow right here.
And once again, it's something that we've addressed in the past. That's why when you go to competitions, that typically we don't have these under glass.
Yes.
Because otherwise people walk up to them and they're like, so it's a picture of a duck or whatever. Big deal, because they can't see the texture. I don't know why I said duck. You've never burned a duck.
No. Okay. Deer. How's that? That's another D word.
Yeah. But I actually saw that before. Like, well, what's the big deal? It's just a picture.
What, at the show?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Well, and then it was a couple, and then they got up close to it, and they're like, that's not a picture.
And was it of my work or somebody else's?
It was yours.
Oh. Well, I'm glad I missed that. Though I would have liked to have answered what they thought.
I think Andrew Smith says, I think this is in regards to the stainless steel. So Colwood should know. Thank you for asking them. I use the tips that I told you about, and they seem fine. The carbon just falls off.
Well, if you notice, I'm on a 4. I have no carbon buildup on my tip. I haven't wiped it at all. I didn't even wipe it before I started. I really don't have that problem of any kind of carbon buildup. Now, if I go hotter, just like everybody else, it will start dragging a little bit. And then I had mentioned making a homemade strop. Yeah. And this is just one of Jason's old belts. I cut it off into pieces. This is the inside. It's attached to a piece of wood with glue, and I can just wipe off on it, and it helps to polish and clean the tip without doing any major damage. For the longest time, I used a fingernail file with 400 grit paper wrapped around it, and I could just hit it real quick while it was hot. But that is how I don't even see the pen. I reshaped one of my pins.
Like, for the better or the worse?
I like where it's at now, but that's not how it started. It thinned out the metal. It shape the spoon shader, but I actually kind of like it. It's a little different. It gives me, let's see here, where is it? There it is. So this was a regular spoon shader, but now it's really thin right there. I may have one of these made, not so thin, but in the shape that I like. Because I don't know how much longer this pin's going to last because of, it's kind of hard to see with how thin it is.
Andrew Smith asks, is that the Colwood you're using now?
This is the Colwood.
And the tips?
This is also Colwood. Okay. This is the custom tip I had made for hair and fur. Now, there's lighter hair in here. So I will go back over it with probably either the spoon shader I just showed you or the razor tip shader that I was using earlier. This is dark. The hair goes, or light. There's a lot of different places that the sun is hitting. So that's why this is dark and goes down dark, kind of comes out. The biggest thing is just paying attention to the shapes. There's all kinds of abstract shapes in here, and if you just follow the shapes, once you put it all together, it looks the way it's supposed to.
It's like art in a nutshell.
Yeah. Because even looking at a realistic picture, if you really, really look at it, it's just a bunch of shapes.
Yeah.
In contrast. I'm looking right now at a colored photo, but I also can switch over to a black and white or sepia if I need to. But I don't feel like I need to.
Well, the Bison is pretty monochromatic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's shades of brown.
And black.
And black.
There's some black. It's further up. I'm having to get around the camera and not turn the board. Okay, I think we can just go. Let's see here. I don't think I need to move. We can just go down his face. Now, I'm not doing connected lines. I'm just tapping and drawing down and lifting up again. And the movement is so quick, but it's enough for me to not have connecting lines, so it's hair, and reheat, excuse me, and my tip reheats as well. Because if I just kept going back and forth, at some point this tip is going to lose heat and not burn as hot. And then if I lift it, which it did right there, I don't know how long that was, 10-15 seconds, and go back, and it's hot again until it starts cooling off. And that's what you're looking for to get an even burn, is you have to lift your tip and let it recover. So that when you're looking at burners and they're saying recovery time, that is what they're talking about. How quick the pin and tip reheat after you lift it from the board. How fast it recovers that heat.
You could use that if you were doing a gradient though, right? Yeah.
I do. That's when I'm going fast and not lifting. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm using the loss of heat to my advantage.
Paul says, that's how life is, a bunch of shapes. So art is life.
Yep. Art is life.
True that.
See, some of these lines look like they're connected, but once I erase with pencil, it won't look so patterned. In fact, I think I'm to a place here where I can do some erasing. And unfortunately, I've hit the pencil with the hot tip a couple of places, and so it's going to take more to get rid of that pencil line. But now where I was hitting, it doesn't just look like a straight line.
Andrew Smith says, I seem to get a carbon buildup with oak. I don't use sandpaper on my tips since you told me. I'm using the Wet and Dry Automotive 1200 grit. It's so much better. 2 thumbs up.
Awesome.
Smiley face.
You are getting the carbon because it's oak. Oak is like maple, is a really hard wood, and those rings have hard and soft spots, and so it doesn't burn as smoothly, and it does create more carbon. These boards that I get here, I get from Dick Blick. I have seen some boards on Amazon, and the problem is Andrew's in the UK, and though I think Dick Blick does shipping there, I think it's not cheap. And I did look. This 12 by 16 panel comes in a 5-pack, and it's priced at $19.40 right now. So for $19.40, you get 5 boards.
One of the issues that you've run into before with any companies that mail is that you'll get your boards and they may be cracked, or they might have knots in them, or they might be subpar. And
I have not had that problem with these panels.
Yeah.
The cradle board panels.
Yeah.
I did. I did have that issue, and Dick Blick actually replaced those boards free of charge for me.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I'm really not using those anymore because of that. And I think part of it is because Dick Blick is in, they ship from Illinois. The warehouse is in Illinois, and where it's higher humidity. And I think the change in the lack of humidity here is what causes the boards to crack and split. Especially since I might order a board but not use it for quite some time because I'm working on other things.
Andrew Smith says, the nail files look so much better. I can't wait to see my wife's face when I ask her to get me some.
Now remember, that is how I reshaped my spoon shader, was using that tip.
Using the nail file?
Or the nail file, yep. Yeah. Sorry. Let's see here. This goes down a little bit. See, every time I tap, it's hotter, but if I keep going, it cools off. But let me know if next week's live, you want me to continue to work on this like in a different area, because here we're focusing on the eye and the ear. We've also got the horns. We got kinky curly hair. We have matted hair. We have stringy hair. We got a lot of hair.
Oh, for me, like the nose and the mouth is always an interesting challenge, because you've got smooth surfaces that are surrounded by hair, and then you've got a lot of different planes. So
okay,
I mean, that's just,
I can do that. I need to work on this anyway. I'm almost done with Eddie the cat. And hopefully
And that looks amazing.
that's over there.
Yeah.
If you want me to show it.
Because I'll go get it.
Thank you.
Towards the end of the stream.
Okay.
Yeah. I walked down in her a couple days ago, and she was finishing. Well, she was working on Eddie, and I was like, "Wow, that's really amazing." And she's like, "Oh, it's just I'm in the middle of it. It's not done." Like, it looked done to me.
It's not done.
Okay, so bunch of comments. So Paul says it's really expensive to ship from the US to UK. It's like a minimum of 28 pounds for a small package. I was going to order some of Yana's stuff, but I decided to wait for Jackson's art to get some.
Oh, that's the brush and pencil blender.
Gotcha. And Andrew Smith says, in regards to your comment about the carbon in the oak, he says, is that why I'm getting the oak grabbing the tip?
Yes. Oak is very greedy. It grabs at everything.
And Dorothy Smith says, in response to what you should do, she says, yes, please continue next week.
Okay.
I'm assuming with the bison.
Yes, yeah. I can do that. It makes it easier, actually, because I have the watercolor ones that I still need to finish. But then I was running around going, what do I do for the live this week? And I knew I wanted to work on wood, but I had to figure out what. I'm trying to figure out how far I want to go down. How far can I go? Let's see here. Steps up there. Okay.
He says this progressed a lot. Has progressed.
Are you okay?
Having some problems with autocorrect. And I'm having some problems talking. But she says this has progressed a lot. And I would agree. I think that it's because the eye in particular looks really good to me. I mean, because it looks shiny. And I know that you're not done with it yet. So.
No. This is just the first layer.
Right.
Let's see, the hair goes this way. Here. This is just the first layer. There will be so much more. In fact, because of how much texture and detail this is, I'm probably not going to do a background. Let's see here.
Well, I think it's going to look interesting because you're going to have so much detail, and the bison's pretty dark, and then so having that negative space on the left-hand side, I think it's going to be really dramatic.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good balance.
That's what I was going for. Plus, I turned the board. I don't know how well you can see, but the grain has ribbons. I guess that's the only way I can think of calling it, and they're different colors. Wow, it muted. How about now? Are we getting it? How did that happen? Yep, we have sound now. At least on the screen. I have no idea how that happened.
Gremlins.
Can a computer mute itself? Because that's what happened. Nobody touched it.
They're going to be our overlords in a couple of years.
Okay. All quiet still, or yes, we're back?
He says yes.
I know.
Eric says, geez, you didn't have to yell.
I'm sorry.
He says, just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh.
Dorothy says, maybe she's in the zone. Paul says, loud and proud.
For whatever reason, Google Hangouts. I can still hear my wife. For whatever reason, Google Hangouts muted. I have no idea why. But we're all good now?
Say something.
Something?
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I have no idea what happened there. Hopefully, new computer next week for live stream.
But Paul also said that, yes, they want to see a continuation of this next week.
Was that your chair?
That's my boots.
Oh, your boots?
Yeah.
So you say.
If I sound like that, there's a problem.
Stop. You're making me laugh. I'm picturing something wrong with you.
I know you are.
Stop it. Oh, I can't edit that little mess up without pulling the video.
Eric says, I didn't know this is Google. How long have you been live streaming? In years.
In years? This is number 7. My 7th live stream. Still trying to work everything out.
You just passed the year mark.
Oh, yes. On the 12th.
Yeah. And Eve's reminding everybody that's here in America to check out the video and giveaway.
Thank you, Eve. Yeah, right now, and Dorothy's one of them. I've only got 4 entries, though I would love to give it away to everybody in all the countries. I hope more enter, because that would just be fun. And unlike Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, if you just because you hit like on a video, we don't see who likes each video. You have to comment or we don't know you're there. YouTube does not tell us who has liked what, who has shared what. So if you are interested in the markers and you're in the US, you really have to comment or I don't know.
So Eric says, oh, okay, I'll enter.
Awesome.
And Paul's asking me if I'm wearing hobnails. That would be awesome if I had hobnails to wear.
What's going on between you two?
I don't know. Seem to have a connection.
You obviously do.
But it's only because Paul rocks.
I thought I did.
You rock too.
And now we have Andrew. And Eric just started his YouTube channel. He has some colored pencil videos, so he's getting up and going.
Oh, Paul says it's all right, Val. Andrew, Eve, and me will just have a sit and cry session on the day of the giveaway.
Oh, I just feel so bad. Though I refuse to get into politics during my lives, I don't know how customs, either going out of the country or into the next country, feels about these markers. And I would hate to tell somebody they won and then I can't send it to them, can't get it to them. And I do know there's issues because the wood turner Martin Sabine Smith that I mentioned, he has his own line of water-based stains And he's been trying to get them to me over here from the UK since March. And customs won't let them out of the country, even though they're water. I guess the UK doesn't want to share their water with us. Let's see here. Where to go? I don't want to have to hit the board too much or the camera. That's too high. I wonder if I can flip this.
Well,
and
before
still
you do
keep
that,
you.
we are at an hour.
Oh, are we?
We are. We're 11:34.
Oh.
So if you want to flip it, that's fine. Or if you want to come back next week.
I think we're going to come back next week.
Next week on Telenova.
I think next week we will either work on the horns or the mouth. I won't touch you till then. That way I don't confuse anybody. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see the mouth? Or, I'm hoping I'm in screen, the horns? It should be in screen. And if you're watching it on replay, let me know what you want to see next week. And again, thanks for the reminder, Eve. Don't forget the chart pack video. I have it linked down in the description as well. If you're in the US, please go like, comment, and subscribe so that you're entered.
Arizona, Eric. Flagstaff.
Northern Arizona. 76 miles from the Grand Canyon. Okay, and do we have any more questions? Last time I cut off Dorothy and I felt so bad. And Dorothy's voting for the horn. Thanks, Eric. So it doesn't look like I don't want to cut anybody off. I always feel bad about that. Okay. Well, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. And YouTube will let you know when I go live. Don't forget to hit like and to comment. Every little interaction with the channel helps us to grow. We're almost at 1,000. Woo-hoo. We're getting there. And happy burning, guys. Bye.